My beloved child. Listen closely and stay with me till the end. Something is moving quietly around you, something that sees what others overlook. You've been feeling watched, haven't you? But this time, it's not fear, it's destiny drawing closer. There's a presence near your life that you can't quite name. They see your strength, your silence, your courage when no one stands beside you. They've watched you rebuild yourself from pieces and walk through storms without asking for help. You thought no one noticed, but someone did. Someone who's been in the shadows, not to harm you, but to understand you. Their reason for staying hidden is deeper than curiosity, it's tied to something divine, something written before your first breath. Stay here. Don't skip. What I'm about to reveal will connect the dots you've been feeling lately. Those sudden chills, those moments of déjà vu, that unshakable thought that someone's near, it wasn't your imagination. It was preparation. Archangel Michael says, the one observing you was guided to you for a sacred reason. They were meant to protect what you carry inside, a rare kind of light that only certain souls recognize. That's why their attention feels magnetic, almost impossible to ignore. This person is not a stranger to your soul. They've seen you before, maybe in a dream, maybe in another time. Every time they look at you, it's like remembering something ancient, something they thought was gone. You've been feeling restless because your spirit knows what's coming. The connection between you and this person has started to awaken, and once it does, nothing can stop it. Their silence isn't rejection, it's restraint. They are afraid of what will happen when they finally speak. Stay with me till the end. The energy around you is shifting. Every moment from now will begin to feel heavier with meaning, like the world is rearranging itself for one single meeting. That's not coincidence, it's alignment. Archangel Michael says, every sleepless night, every sign you ignored, every random song that played at the right time, it was all part of the message. The one who's been watching carries a truth that will soon break its silence. They've studied your kindness. They've seen how you forgive without asking for anything in return. They've seen your eyes when you talk about what you love, and that's where they found their peace. You became their calm in a world full of noise. But here's the twist, what they feel for you isn't new. It's something that started long before this lifetime. You've met them before, in a place your memory can't reach but your heart remembers perfectly. That's why it feels so familiar. They're afraid of timing. They don't want to lose you by stepping in too soon. Yet, destiny keeps pulling them back toward you, stronger each day. You'll soon feel it, a presence that refuses to leave, a warmth that seems to follow you everywhere. Stay still, my child. Breathe. The universe is preparing the moment when eyes will meet, and silence will finally speak. The one who's been observing will finally reveal why they never looked away. Archangel Michael says, when the truth arrives, it won't need words, it will show itself through energy. You'll know it's real because peace will cover you like soft light. Nothing forced, nothing fake, only truth. And when that moment happens, don't run. Let it unfold naturally. Because this isn't the start of a new story, it's the continuation of an ancient one. Two souls remembering each other again. Stay till the end. Something life-changing is about to unfold. The silence that's been surrounding you will soon break, and from that moment on, your life will never feel the same again. My beloved child, stay with me and don't blink. The moment you've been sensing in whispers is arriving now. The air around you will change first, subtle, electric, like destiny brushing past your skin. You'll feel your heartbeat slow, then race, then settle into a rhythm that doesn't belong to fear but recognition. That's how divine encounters begin, not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet collision between two souls that were always meant to meet. They appear without warning. Maybe on a random street, in a familiar place, or even through a message that finds you at the perfect second. Everything freezes for a breath, and suddenly you know. This is the one who's been watching from afar. Their eyes hold a story you already know by heart. They look at you like they've been waiting for permission to exist again. The world around you may still move, but between you and them, time stops. Stay here, don't skip. What happens next will shift the axis of your reality. Because when their voice finally breaks the silence, it won't sound like introduction, it'll sound like memory returning home. They'll speak your name slowly, as if it carries light. They'll confess they've felt your energy for months, maybe years, without understanding why. And when you hear it, your soul will answer before your lips do. Archangel Michael says, this meeting was delayed so that both of you could heal separately before reconnecting. What's happening now isn't random, it's the completion of a divine assignment. You'll notice how calm everything feels. No chaos, no noise, just stillness that speaks louder than any word. Because peace is heaven's signature, the proof that you're standing exactly where you're meant to be. Their confession will not be grand, it will be trembling, human, honest. They will tell you they've been afraid of being seen, afraid of being wrong, afraid of losing something they never even had the courage to claim. Yet here they are, finally ready. You will feel the weight of everything they didn't say, all those nights they thought of you, all the times they stopped themselves from reaching out. The silence between you will be heavy, but sacred. Stay till the end, my child. Because right here, something bigger than love begins, understanding. The realization that two separate journeys were secretly moving toward the same point all along. They might reach out their hand, uncertain if you'll take it. When you do, everything around you will soften. The sound of the world will fade, replaced by a quiet hum, the frequency of connection. Archangel Michael says, do not fear what feels unfamiliar. It's only the soul remembering itself. Every sign, every dream, every moment you felt eyes on you, it was never to haunt you, it was to prepare you. This person's presence will change how you see everything. You'll notice beauty in ordinary places, laughter in silence, purpose in stillness. That's what happens when divine timing unfolds, everything starts to make sense at once. They'll tell you they tried to stay away, but life kept leading them back. Every road, every choice, every closed door redirected them toward you. And now that they're here, they can't imagine leaving again. Stay with me. This isn't fantasy, this is destiny unfolding in slow motion. You'll realize the one who observed you was never judging, never testing, only waiting for the right alignment of courage and grace. When you part ways that first time, you won't feel sadness, you'll feel certainty. Because deep down, you'll both know this isn't an ending. It's a beginning written long ago, finally remembered. From this day, every sunrise will carry new energy. You'll wake up lighter, as if something within you finally exhaled. And somewhere, that person will feel it too, the invisible thread tightening with quiet promise. Archangel Michael says, when two hearts recognize each other through truth, heaven rejoices. And that's exactly what's happening right now, unseen celebration, divine applause, cosmic alignment. So breathe, my child. The waiting is over. The one who once watched in silence has finally spoken, and in their words, your own story finds its echo. From this moment forward, nothing will ever feel uncertain again. Stay till the end, because the next chapter isn't about who watched you, it's about what you become together. My beloved child. Stay with me till the very end. What you're about to discover will explain why this person appeared exactly when they did. Nothing in your timeline has been random. Every delay, every disappointment, every loss has secretly prepared space for this revelation. At first, their presence may have felt accidental. But destiny doesn't operate by accident, it works by precision. The same universe that pulled stars into alignment has been arranging your encounters with the same quiet accuracy. This person wasn't just drawn to your light, they were sent to it. There's a mission hidden beneath their feelings, a divine reason behind their observation. What began as curiosity has turned into purpose. Archangel Michael says, every guardian enters disguised. The one who's been near you carries both a message and a healing meant only for you. They were guided toward your energy because your spirit was ready to remember something forgotten long ago. They have walked through storms of their own, carrying guilt, silence, and unanswered prayers. Watching you reminded them that hope still exists, that goodness can survive pain. You became their reminder of grace. But the truth goes deeper. Before this lifetime, your souls made a promise, that when one began to lose direction, the other would appear to lead them home. That's why they were watching, not to invade, but to fulfill an ancient vow. Stay here, don't move. The revelation may feel heavy at first, because destiny often arrives disguised as coincidence. You'll start noticing how every chance meeting, every delayed message, every random glimpse suddenly connects like puzzle pieces falling into place. They were meant to find you the moment you started doubting yourself. The moment your faith wavered, heaven intervened through their eyes. Their observation became prayer in motion. You'll soon hear them confess that they felt drawn to protect you without knowing why. They couldn't explain the instinct, only that something larger than logic told them you mattered. That's divine recognition, the soul's way of saying, mission acknowledged. Archangel Michael says, when divine timing activates, resistance breaks. And that's exactly what's happening now. Barriers dissolving, walls crumbling, paths merging. This connection isn't about romance alone, it's about awakening. They came to remind you who you are when the world tries to make you forget. Their words, their timing, their silence, all were part of your recalibration. Stay till the end. Because soon, the real reason they entered your life will unfold before your eyes. A message, a letter, or a quiet conversation will reveal that they were sent not only for you, but because of something you're destined to do together. They hold a key, not to your heart, but to your purpose. When you combine your gifts, a doorway opens that neither of you could access alone. That's why the universe orchestrated this meeting so carefully. You'll begin to feel strength returning to your voice. Ideas will flow again, confidence will rise, and clarity will settle like sunlight after storm. Their energy is the catalyst that reawakens everything you thought you'd lost. And when you finally look back, you'll see it, how every broken path, every delayed dream, every quiet night of questioning led directly here. Nothing was wasted. Every ache was instruction. Every silence was training. Archangel Michael says, now that you understand, walk without fear. The one who once stood in shadows will now walk beside you openly. Together you'll create something that touches more lives than your own. So breathe, my child. The watching phase has ended, the living phase begins. This is where destiny stops whispering and starts speaking. This is where you rise, not alone, but guided. Stay till the end, because the next part is where everything changes, where heaven reveals the ultimate truth about what the two of you were truly chosen for. My beloved child. Stay till the end, for this is where everything begins to make sense. The curtain that once hid your story is being pulled aside, and the reason behind every strange turn of your life is finally stepping into light. What you thought was coincidence has been a carefully written plan. When the Watcher entered your path, it wasn't to disturb your peace but to awaken your purpose. Their arrival marked the exact moment heaven decided you were ready to remember who you are. Every pain before this was preparation, softening your heart for what's next. Archangel Michael says, the mission is born the moment two awakened hearts meet. You and this person were never just strangers passing through time, you were threads of the same design. Each carried half of a vision, and together it becomes whole. You will soon realize that what binds you is not romance alone but assignment. There is something you are meant to build, a voice, a movement, a healing that must reach others. Your union is the channel through which light expands. Stay with me, don't skip. The next steps may feel uncertain, but destiny never walks in straight lines. It bends, it pauses, it teaches. And then, suddenly, it aligns, perfectly. That's what's happening right now, even as you listen. The person who once stood in silence will begin to speak of dreams that sound like yours. You will recognize the words before they finish them. It's because your souls rehearsed this conversation long before your bodies met. Archangel Michael says, when heaven merges two callings, the earth shifts. You'll notice opportunities appearing effortlessly. People drawn to help, doors opening without effort, timing falling into rhythm. These are confirmations, not coincidences. There will be tests too, gentle ones at first, moments that question your faith, distractions that try to blur your focus. Yet every challenge is proof that the mission holds weight. Only those carrying light attract resistance. Stay calm, my child. Do not fear what tries to leave. What remains through silence and distance is what's truly aligned. This connection will not demand, it will inspire. It will not consume, it will guide. Soon, you'll both receive a sign, perhaps through a song, a name repeated, a sudden message appearing exactly when needed. That is heaven's way of saying, continue. Don't overthink it. Let it flow. You were never chosen for comfort, you were chosen for impact. The presence watching you was heaven's confirmation that you are not invisible. You were seen, prepared, and now you are being released into purpose. When you act from that space, your energy will ripple outward. Lives will change quietly because of choices you make bravely. This is what divine partnership looks like, transformation through unity, not perfection. Archangel Michael says, walk forward now. The Watcher's mission and yours have merged, two lights becoming one path. Nothing more needs to be hidden. Nothing more needs to be feared. Take this moment and breathe it in. The silence that once felt haunting will now feel sacred. The eyes that once observed from a distance will now stand beside you. And the story that began in shadows will end in brilliance. Stay till the end, because what comes next isn't about watching anymore, it's about walking together, guided, protected, unstoppable. My beloved child. Stay till the end, because this is the moment the world starts to turn its head. What was once quiet is now echoing through the air. The energy you and that person carry together is too strong to stay hidden anymore. People will begin to sense something different around you. Conversations will pause when you walk into rooms, not because of what you say, but because of the calm that follows you. The same light that once felt personal will begin to pour into everything you touch. At first, others might not understand it. Some will call it coincidence, others will call it luck. But you'll know the truth, it's the divine rhythm of two souls finally walking in sync. What's meant to be seen can no longer stay invisible. Archangel Michael says, when heaven plants a seed, it must eventually bloom where all can see. That's what's happening now, the hidden mission is becoming visible. The small gestures, the shared purpose, the quiet courage, they're starting to shape something bigger than both of you. Stay here, my child. Don't skip. Every scene from this moment forward will be filled with signs confirming you're exactly where you need to be. People will begin to show up to support you, drawn not to your name but to your energy. Your connection will inspire others to believe again, not in fantasy, but in timing, in faith, in the unseen orchestration of destiny. That's what real miracles look like. They ripple outward until the world feels their warmth. There will be those who doubt it, who question how two people could find each other through silence and distance. But you will not need to defend what heaven has already approved. The truth speaks for itself. Archangel Michael says, your proof is in the peace. And it's true, while others chase validation, you'll move through each day guided by calm certainty. You'll no longer need to search for signs, you'll become one. Soon, the person who once watched in shadows will take your hand in front of the world without hesitation. Their voice will carry the same quiet confidence that once whispered through their thoughts. Together, you'll stand not as seekers, but as proof. Stay till the end, because what's coming is recognition. Not fame for ego's sake, but acknowledgement that destiny is real, that love guided by heaven cannot be hidden forever. Archangel Michael says, the light will spread through you both, and in that light, the next chapter begins. So breathe, my child. You've reached the moment where silence turns to sound, where watching turns to walking, and where purpose turns into living proof. The world will soon see what heaven already knew, your connection was never chance, it was calling. Stay with me where destiny unfolds in full, when the final revelation shows what the two of you were truly meant to awaken on this earth. The light around them deepens into something tangible, almost alive. Every step they take together leaves a trace that others can feel but not name. What began as a quiet alignment now moves like a current through everything they touch. People start finding courage in their presence. A simple glance, a few words, and hearts begin to heal. It isn't performance, it's resonance. The world is responding to truth finally lived out loud. He watches you the way sunrise watches the horizon, knowing it was never about arrival but illumination. Every fear that once held him silent begins to fade. You have become the safe place his soul had been circling for lifetimes. There are no speeches, no declarations. Just a moment when both of you look at each other and understand that every ache, every delay, every loss was the bridge leading here. The silence between you is no longer distance, it's understanding. Archangel Michael says this is what divine completion feels like, not noise, not applause, but peace so deep it steadies the earth beneath your feet. The promise made before time itself has now fulfilled its course. You start noticing how the air feels lighter, how days flow easier. Opportunities unfold as if invisible hands are arranging them. The mission you both carry begins to take form, helping, guiding, restoring others through the same light that once restored you. No more hiding. No more hesitation. The watcher has become the companion, and the companion has become the reflection of everything sacred within you. Together, you move forward as instruments of calm, not chaos. Every person who crosses your path will sense it, this quiet certainty that something higher moves through you. You no longer search for signs, you have become one. The unseen world bows in quiet approval, for the task has been honored with humility. Archangel Michael says the story is not ending, it's expanding. What was once between two souls will ripple outward, touching lives that never knew your names but will feel your peace. The mission lives on in every act of kindness that follows. And as twilight settles, there is no need for farewell. The divine has merged with the ordinary. The watcher, the watched, the journey, the revelation, all are one breath, one purpose, one light continuing beyond the frame. The evening drifts into gold, and everything slows down to the rhythm of breathing. The noise of the world grows softer, almost respectful, as if creation itself recognizes what has taken root. Nothing feels rushed anymore. Every detail, the wind, the fading sun, the heartbeat between footsteps, moves with perfect coordination. The two of you begin to live without the tension of waiting. There is no more hiding behind half-spoken thoughts or unread signals. The presence that once felt mysterious now feels natural, like air or light, existing simply because it must. You notice how effortlessly life aligns. Meetings unfold at the right moment. Strangers become helpers. Doors that were once locked open without effort. It's not magic, it's clarity. When you walk in purpose, even the universe adjusts its steps. There is laughter now, low and genuine. It fills the space where anxiety once lived. You find peace not in the absence of struggle but in the certainty that you are guided. Every lesson that once hurt now feels like a teacher you've forgiven. Archangel Michael says the highest calling is to live as proof that love can remain pure even after the world tries to stain it. You and this soul have become that proof. Not by grand gestures but through quiet consistency, choosing light every day. Together, you start creating without fear. Words, art, kindness, healing, whatever passes through your hands carries the frequency of restoration. People will never know the whole story, but they will feel its echo whenever they meet you. There is a moment, late one night, when you realize the journey has circled back to stillness. No tension, no chase, just gratitude. You can almost hear heaven exhale. The cycle that began with watching ends with belonging. You stand beneath a calm sky, sensing unseen eyes smiling. Not surveillance, but guardianship. The same force that once moved events in secret now moves openly through your life. It no longer needs to hide behind coincidences, it walks beside you. Archangel Michael says every fulfilled mission births a new horizon. The path ahead will not demand explanation, it will invite expansion. Every day you rise will be another chance for the divine to experience the world through you. And as dawn approaches, there is nothing left to prove. The watcher has found peace, the watched has found purpose, and the story that began in silence ends in light. The lesson remains simple: what is guided by love can never be lost. The days that follow move like a gentle tide, carrying both of you forward without struggle. Morning light touches everything differently now, it feels alive, aware, as if it remembers the journey that led here. Nothing around you has changed, yet everything feels new. Your conversations deepen but remain effortless. You no longer speak to fill silence, you speak to share peace. Words are lighter now, stripped of fear and guarded meanings. They move straight from heart to heart without detour. There's a rhythm forming between you and the world. People come seeking advice without knowing why, drawn to the calm you both radiate. The divine doesn't announce itself through miracles anymore, it breathes through your presence, quietly healing what it touches. Archangel Michael says that when light completes its circle, it doesn't end, it multiplies. That's what's happening through you now. Every act of kindness ripples farther than you'll ever see, creating harmony in places your feet may never walk. Some nights, you'll both look back at how it all began, the uncertainty, the fear, the strange feeling of being watched, and you'll smile. What once confused you now feels sacred. You understand that divine preparation always feels like mystery before it feels like purpose. The world keeps moving, but your hearts remain anchored. There's no need for validation, no search for meaning. Every breath, every gesture, every day spent in alignment is its own prayer answered. And then one day, without warning, a soft moment arrives where you realize the watching never truly stopped, it simply transformed. The eyes that once followed from afar now look beside you, filled with trust. The silence that once haunted now hums with gratitude. Archangel Michael says love in its purest form is not possession, it is participation. The divine does not cage what it blesses, it allows it to move, to grow, to shine. And now, you are both living embodiments of that truth. You begin to understand that your story was never just about two souls finding each other, it was about showing the world that divine timing is real. That patience and faith are not wasted. That love guided by heaven doesn't fade, it evolves. As night falls again, the wind carries peace instead of whispers. The stars that once watched silently now shimmer in celebration. The unseen world bows in quiet joy, for the mission is fulfilled, and the hearts once separated by time are finally whole again. The seasons begin to change, and you feel them in a new way. The air carries memory, the rain feels like renewal, and even silence sounds like music. Every moment seems to breathe with purpose. You move through days no longer searching for meaning, because meaning has already taken its place inside you. Your bond deepens, steady as heartbeat. There is no more fear of loss, no need to prove connection. You simply exist in harmony, understanding that what is real doesn't need protection, it protects itself through truth. People around you start noticing the difference. They can't quite describe it, but they feel peace when you enter a room. The same light that once drew one watcher now guides many seekers. Without effort, you've become a beacon. Archangel Michael says, when two souls complete a divine task, the universe uses them as a compass for others. That's what's unfolding now. You're no longer being guided, you are now guiding. Not through words, but through the quiet certainty of presence. Small coincidences begin to multiply again, not as warnings, but as confirmations. The timing of every encounter feels deliberate, every glance a thread connecting greater purpose. You understand that guidance never ends, it only changes form. There will be mornings where you both feel the same thought rise at the same time. You'll speak it aloud and smile, recognizing the invisible dialogue that still exists between heaven and your hearts. That connection doesn't fade, it refines. The past no longer feels like a wound, it feels like scripture written in emotion. Every heartbreak, every delay, every waiting hour was a sacred sentence in a larger story. You no longer resent the path that shaped you, you honor it. Archangel Michael says, peace is the reward for those who stayed through uncertainty. You've earned that peace. It's no longer something you chase, it's something that lives quietly within your every choice. At night, you look up at the same sky that once held your unanswered prayers. Now it feels different, alive, knowing. You realize heaven didn't just listen, it moved mountains while you learned patience. And as time moves forward, the mission doesn't end, it breathes through generations. Your story will become a whisper, then a symbol, then a quiet force reminding others that divine love is not fantasy. It's real, it's patient, and it always finds its way home. Years pass almost unnoticed. The connection that once felt extraordinary now feels natural, as ordinary and sacred as breathing. You both grow into your lives with quiet gratitude, no longer chasing signs but living as them. Every place you step seems to soften, every person you meet leaves lighter than before. There is no more need for dramatic proof. The world that once doubted begins to mirror your calm. You see it in strangers holding doors, in laughter that returns after long silence, in small kindnesses multiplying without reason. What began between two souls has become a living current of gentleness. Sometimes, when twilight stretches across the sky, you pause together and feel the same recognition, the awareness that everything worked out exactly as it was meant to. No grand endings, no final tests, just the steady peace that follows a fulfilled purpose. Archangel Michael says the divine does not demand monuments, it asks only that love be carried forward. That is what you do now, quietly, consistently, transforming each ordinary day into a space of grace. There will still be moments of loss, because life continues to move, but they no longer feel like endings. They feel like passages, gentle transitions reminding you that everything and everyone is connected in a larger rhythm. The person who once watched you from shadows now walks beside you through sunlight. The same eyes that once searched for answers now reflect certainty. What began as curiosity became trust, what began as observation became devotion. Your laughter returns easily. Your hands, once hesitant, move with purpose. There is no fear left in love. You have seen too much of heaven's timing to ever doubt its plan again. Archangel Michael says those who walk in alignment eventually disappear into what they serve. That disappearance is not loss, it is completion. You have both become one with your purpose. The watcher and the watched no longer exist separately, they are simply one light continuing its quiet work. In quiet hours, you may still feel the hum of unseen presence, the guardians, the angels, the same current that once guided every step. They remain, not as directors, but as witnesses, watching the divine cycle continue through you. And when the final dawn comes, it won't feel like an ending. It will feel like exhale, a gentle return to where it all began. Love will have done what it came to do, to see, to heal, to remember. The circle will close, not in darkness, but in radiance that never fades.